popo thing is water paper, but this motherfucking Grey Goose, baby.
It's time. Your triple bogey, long shot parlay, full send degenerates at a place to call home. Look no further. It's the DGEN Podcast.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the DGEN Podcast. I'm your host, Wayno Wagyu, alongside my fellow co-host, Mikey Rom. As always, here before we dip into NFL Week 14. Mikey Rom, crazy, right?
Week 13, but crazy, yeah.
Week 13, crazy. Week 13. We're going to get into our normal housekeeping here. This podcast presented to you by Sleeper. Go to the App Store, download the Sleeper app, use that promo code RF-DGEN Podcast. You're going to get a 100% deposit match on your first deposit up to $100. And as always, Sunday Swagger. The holiday seasons are here, guys. Go use that promo code DGEN15 at sundayswagger.com. You're going to get your loved one or yourself or anybody else you know for that matter a 50% discount on your entire purchase at checkout. And last but not least, we're not sipping any cold Cape Cod crack cocktails tonight, Mikey Ron, because I forgot to bring them.
We drank them all last time.
But nevertheless, this podcast also presented by Cape Cod crack cocktails. Go to CapeCotta.com, click the Find Us tab, and find a local package store near you. Mikey, last week, I'm not sure what you did record-wise, but your boy Wayno Wagyu was hot to trot, 12-4 ATS.
Very nice.
I'm ready. I'm fired up. I'm geared up to fucking turn up.
All right.
NFL Week 13.
13.
Love the picks. Love the picks. But more importantly,
Dangerous.
Give me an update. How's life? What's new in the last week?
Life's good. We had a happy Thanksgiving. And by happy Thanksgiving, not really that happy for me. Dog was sick in the emergency room Wednesday night into the morning, Thursday morning. So got to the emergency room around 11 p.m., got home around 5 a.m., was very tired for Thanksgiving.
Are you kidding me? What was wrong with your dog?
Dog had the shits. Dog is fine, but happy
So
Thanksgiving.
you hit the overreaction button on the dog having the shits?
I didn't hit. I don't want to blame people, but I didn't hit it. But it got hit. It got hit.
Significant other may have
The button
overreacted?
got hit. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad that the dog is fine.
Dog's fine.
NFL Week 13.
Yes.
Thursday Night Football. Seattle takes on Dallas. Seattle in a double back-to-back road spot here. +9 currently. Plus 330 in the money line. 47.5 as a total, Mikey Rob. This Dallas team looks as though they could be for real. I can't believe I'm saying that, but they look as though they could be for real. 8-3 against the spread this year. I know on Thanksgiving, I did take Washington. I was one of the suckers. I took him I actually teased them out to plus 14.5. Did not work out so good. They lost 45-10. Who do you have in this first Thursday night game of NFL Week 13?
Yeah. So predictably, Dallas absolutely destroyed last week. They play very good against bad teams. They're a bad team killer. Seahawks this week aren't, I wouldn't say they're a good team, but they're not a bottom of the barrel team. I'd say they're a mediocre team. Dallas, Dak Prescott, people are talking about him in the MVP conversation. He's certainly having a good year. I'm not going to take that away from him. He is not on pace to throw his 10 picks, which is a shame because I was really excited to root against him. But all that being said, I feel like the Seahawks team has enough and they have actual pieces to make this close game. I think 9 or 9.5 is too many points. I think this is probably more of a touchdown game. So for that reason, I'm going to take the points. I don't love this, but if I have to pick, I have to pick the Seahawks.
Both teams have very, very difficult matchups next week on hand. Seattle at San Fran. Dallas hosting Philadelphia. Probably the bigger of the two games is the Dallas-Philadelphia game. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Agree.
But with that being said, major look-ahead spot here for Dallas. 9 points a lot. Seattle +9. I hate fucking Geno Smith. I hate everything about Geno Smith.
He better write back this week.
He fucking has just absolutely fucked me this year. I have so much money. He's going to continue to fuck me this week probably, but I'm taking Seattle +9 on the road here to cover the spread against the very flaming hot Dallas Cowboys. Moving on, Sunday, first 1 o'clock game here on the slate. We have the Los Angeles Chargers taking on our New England Patriots. Chargers currently I know. Hey, we're playing for the draft pick we all just hope for, which is a top. You know that the last time the Patriots had a top 5 pick in the NFL was 1994, and guess who they drafted?
Drew Bledsoe? I don't know.
Willie McGinnis.
Good pick.
Willie McGinnis. Great pick. Absolute freak.
Good pick.
Los Angeles Chargers, -6 on the road, -270 on the money line, 41.5 is the total. Mikey, also back-to-back road spots here for the Chargers. Possible look-ahead spot against Denver. But with that being said, I don't think it's going to mean much. I mean, the Patriots last week, just an abysmal game, had a chance to tie it, and I really do think at some point you just need to say, close your eyes, always bet against the Patriots because you're going to make money, and that's what I'm going to do this week. Yeah. -6 against a really bad Chargers defense, but a Chargers offense that can put up points.
Yeah.
Patriots are not going to be able to compete with that.
No. Yeah, this is the, what's that saying? The unstoppable force against the immovable object. This is the unstoppable force of bad against the immovable object of worse. Like, this game makes me want to puke. The Chargers are the worst coach team in the NFL. They have such a good team talent-wise, but they just can't get out of their own way. And then the Patriots are just, it's really sad. It's abysmal. It's sad. I found myself rooting for the Carolina Panthers last week, and that's when you know your season's fucked. So hopefully we get that top 3 pick and we actually take a quarterback. So we'll see. That being said, the Patriots are not going to score points. The Chargers will score points, but I don't think they'll score 41.5 points. So I'm going to take the under here. I think this is like a 28-6.
I was not expecting an underplay here.
Yeah, that's under. I literally don't think the Patriots will score another touchdown this year. I'm not joking. I think they'll be kicking field goals till week 18, and it's going to be sad. I think the last touchdown was scored last week.
Kicking field goals and missing field goals.
Yeah.
Also,
under.
Hot take, I don't think the Patriots should draft a quarterback. As much as they need a quarterback, they need an offensive line first. That offense period doesn't go anywhere or do anything unless you get more protection for whatever quarterback that's behind center. But that's just my opinion, right?
If we take a guard at 3, I'm done.
No guard. It needs to be a tackle. It needs to be a blindside tackle for whoever it is you have at quarterback. Moving on, though, I actually did not write this game down on my notes and my paper, so I want to pick it off my phone before we skip it by accident. The Colts are on the road, 1 o'clock against the Titans. Currently, the Titans are +1.5, -102 on the money line, 42.5 is the total, Mikey. I am just convinced that Mike Vrabel has already lost his job, in my opinion. Yep. As bad as that is, I think he's a great coach. I think that the GM, the management hasn't gave him much opportunity to succeed with the players that are on the team.
Yep.
A.J. Brown gone, obviously. I mean, that's old news, old
wild
story.
Trade.
But, I mean, you just look back at some of the moves, and they're so unbelievably questionable. Yeah. Hanging on to Ryan Tannehill for as long as they did, and now they're stuck with Will Levis, who, I mean, he's finding his way, maybe, kind of, sort of, but still not the answer, at least this season. I know I'm saying a lot of things to pick against the Titans here, but I think this is a must-win spot for them. I think a Colts team, for me, that... if I remember correctly, Jonathan Taylor injured now, right?
Yeah, yep.
I think
broken thumb. He's out for a few weeks.
So I think that they're gonna be fighting a little bit of an uphill battle. I think King Henry eats this week. He ate last week.
Yeah, he's good.
The write-off tour is still happening, but I think that I've wrote him off. But I think that there's a couple of select spots like this week where he'll have a good game. So give me the Tennessee Titans +1.5.
Okay, yeah, I like a lot of what you just said. I agree with you. I think Mike Vrabel's time in Tennessee, his days are numbered. I think his tenure has just run its course. I think it's just time for both parties to move on. And I know Mike Vrabel will be a good coach somewhere else, but he's not in a great situation. His team's not talented enough to play his style of football, so it's reflecting that way on the field. The Titans are definitely struggling. I'll tell you what, this Colts team, Anthony Richardson out, Jonathan Taylor out, they're frisky. They play hard. Their coach has, kept them, down on the right path this season. They're fighting for a wild card spot. And yeah, Jonathan Taylor's out, but Zach Moss is a very serviceable backup. I mean, he was the starter for half the year when Jonathan Taylor was out.
I do love Zach Moss.
He signed a pretty big running back deal. All things considered on running back deals. Yeah, I think they have good faith in him. I think they'll pick up where they left off last week, and I think they actually handle the Titans pretty easily here. I think this is the proverbial tombstone for the Titans season this week, and I think the Colts are going to keep marching their way to a 7th seed wildcard spot. So I'm going to roll with the Colts -1.5.
Interesting. I mean, I'm not exactly going and saying I'm picking or putting money on this game, but we pick everything in this podcast.
We sure do.
Moving on to possibly my favorite game of the week, Mikey Rom.
Okay.
The Arizona Cardinals take on the dumpster fire of a team in which it is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers possibly the best worst team ever. I don't know how. I think they're like minus 200 and whatever right now to make the playoffs. I can't even believe it. But I think they skip a beat this week.
Okay.
I think they hit a little bit of a wall. Currently, Arizona on the road, plus 5.5, plus 205 on the money line, 41.5 is a total. Before I absolutely just light this game up and propel it into the stratosphere.
Okay.
I want you to give me your take.
Yeah. Imagine like making the playoffs, like almost winning your division and firing your offensive coordinator. That's how weird the Steelers season has been. The best, worst team of all time, definitely. And like their offense is just so out of sync, so gross. You know, the way that they play, you know, what is Deontay Johnson? I don't know if you saw that clip of him just like walking off the line and then like a fumble going right by his feet and him just like not being in it with it. Like, dude,
zero fucks given by
like,
Deontay
dude, I need
Johnson.
you in fantasy. I don't need you to get benched this week. Please play. But that's an aside. I think this is an overplay. 41.5, I feel like it's low for this game. The Cardinals have a bad defense and score points, and the Steelers, in all of their fucking fuckery, somehow score points every week. I think they're good for 20 here, and I think the Cardinals are good for 20 at least. So somebody's going to win. So I'm going to go over 41.5. I think that's a low number.
So the only thing about this game I was a little bit worried about is the Steelers' running game. I think that they do have the ability at times to move the ball on the ground. Jalen Warren, Najee Harris, not so much, but Jalen Warren has some juice to him. I think that this Arizona Cardinals team has shown they give up a lot of ground yards. The secondary isn't as bad, though, as a lot of people may lead on. But they're going to put up points, and they're going to put up a decent amount, I think, in this game.
Yeah.
I love Arizona this week. Plus 5.5, sprinkle the money line, plus 205, Mikey Rum.
I like that.
Calamari's going to get his. They're going to expose the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers. And this is going to cash. This is going to cash big all day long. Arizona Cardinals plus 5.5.
Love it.
Moving on, Denver Broncos on the road.
Let's ride.
And possibly one of the most unexpected but very competitive games on the slate this week, taking on Houston on the road. Denver currently plus 3.5, plus 152 on the money line, 47.5 is a total, Mikey. The Houston Texans coming off a tough loss last week against a divisional game against Jacksonville. Who do you have in this matchup?
Yeah. First, I want to say this Texans team I like a lot.
Pure grit.
I like the cut of their jib. I like the energy they bring. I like their offense. Their defense is okay. It's not great. And I think last week they had that loss can be like a learning experience for them. Like, you know, they're finding ways to stay in games, but now they just need to find a way to win those close games. So I think they have a bright future ahead of them. All that being said, the Broncos seem to have figured it out. Sean Payton and his dumb head and Russell Wilson and his dumb fucking face have figured out how to win in Bronco land. You know, they're playing well. They are in the playoff hunt somehow. They are definitely riding with Russell Wilson. So I'm going to roll with them this week. One thing that does concern me, I don't know if you saw a clip on Twitter. Sean Payton didn't know what a scoregami was. Do you know what a scoregami is?
I have no idea what the fuck a scoregami is.
Okay, so scoregami is when there's a unique NFL score. So like it's never happened in NFL history before. The Broncos have 2 this year. The first one was 70-20. That was a scoregami. There's never been a score of 70-20. And last week, 29-12 scoregami. So Sean Payton not knowing what that is. I guess you don't know what that is either. So maybe I'm less concerned. But yeah,
so you're gonna sprinkle the exact score of this game and just pick a
scoregami.
Scoregami.
They might get 3, but I'm definitely taking Broncos 3.5. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think the Texans will definitely keep it close, but I think the Broncos just are a little bit more developed maturity wise, and we'll get the job done.
Don't you feel like every Houston game recently, it just like came down to the wire? It's the fourth quarter. It takes basically CJ Stroud stepping up and like doing something miraculous to keep them in the game or to win them the game.
Yeah.
I feel like that continues this week.
Okay.
I think it's definitely a field goal game. I think that, you know, the line is right. But with that being said, Denver coming into this game winning 5 straight. Plus 3.5. I think they cover the spread. Also, potential to sprinkle the money line at plus 152. Last week, sprinkled the money line on the Bills, almost cashed against the Eagles, Mikey.
Almost.
Had the opportunity to win that game, and Josh Allen was Josh Allen down the stretch. But we'll get into them later on. So give me Denver plus 3.5. Moving on, probably one of the biggest letdowns of last week. The Detroit Lions taking on, I know, a lot of people lost money on the Detroit Lions last week for Thanksgiving. I was not thankful for
Imagine the big dumb idiot that took the money line and thought, oh, this can't lose. That's me.
Yeah, that's bulletproof. Never. 7-4 ATS are Detroit, though, currently against the spread. Minus 4.5 on the road, though, against New Orleans. Minus 215 on the money line. 42.5 is the total, Mikey. I fucking hate Derek Carr, first and foremost.
Yep.
Fucking hate Derek Carr. This offense of the New Orleans Saints is borderline abysmal, and I'm not sure why they're not getting exposed for it. They're almost as bad, in my opinion, as the Steelers. I'm exposing them now. Yeah. Fuck the New Orleans Saints. Fuck them plus 4.5. Everyone's going to be on Detroit here, and so am I. I don't even care. Normally, I try to stay away from where the money's going and the bets and all that, but there's a total bounce back spot for them. Minus 4.5 against this New Orleans team is totally just a slap in the face and disrespectful. I know I could have said that last week probably too against Green Bay. But this game, it's just 2-8-1 is New Orleans this year against the spread.
They don't got the juice.
They don't have the juice. Give me Detroit minus 4.5.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said. I'm going to take Lions here as well. Not too much to add. Yeah, the Saints, watching them play is like watching the Patriots play. Like you are just like every time the ball gets thrown in the air, you're like it's getting picked or it's going to be bad. They just don't do it for me. Detroit's going to bounce back. With energy, they're going to be angry. They're going to clean up all the mistakes they made last week, and I think they cover this easily. So, yeah, I'm not going to, ramble on too much. I'm going to roll with Detroit as well.
Moving on, last week New Orleans took on Atlanta, lost to Atlanta. This week, Atlanta favored minus 3 against the New York Jets. New York Jets currently plus 3 home dogs, plus 128 in the money line, 34 is a total, Mikey. And to be honest, spread-wise, I don't know which way to go on this game. I really want to lean towards ATL, but Desmond Ridder's starting. That Jets defense is still pretty fucking good, which makes me lean to the total. 34 under. That's really my only play in this game. And if that, I don't even think I'll bet it.
Yeah, this is my hands up in the air. I don't know. Game of the week. Did you see Aaron Rodgers fucking with the helmet on throwing in practice? He's got put on the 21-day practice period.
I did see that.
He had surgery 79 days ago, and now he's practicing. Just weird. I don't know what kind of fucking magic voodoo shit they injected into his foot, but
a lot of what is it? Isawaka or
ayahuasca and stem cells.
Ayahuasca.
Listen, Aaron Rodgers is not going to play this year. This is all rah-rah, look at me, I came back. If we were in the playoff hunt, I'd play. No. This is just rah-rah, look at me. But that being said, I want to pick the Falcons here. I just don't like the Jets. I don't like, the way they play. Their defense is good, but I feel like the Falcons are in a divisional battle. They're in the playoff hunt, and this is a game they need if they want to continue that way. So I'm going to roll with the Falcons here, minus 3.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, it's definitely a lean of mine. I wish I felt more comfortable picking them, but
I don't feel comfortable. But we pick every game.
Always. So. Moving on, we have Miami take it on the Washington Commanders.
Yes,
Commanders were probably the sole reason last week why I did not make an absolute bag, just an absolute bag. So thank you to the Washington Commanders for fucking my life up. Currently, Miami minus 9.5. Washington plus 360 on the money line. 49.5 is the total, Mikey. Washington Commanders have a bye week to look forward to here. Miami, everything is jumping up the page here for me to take them. But I also feel like Washington, for as bad as he played last week, they do have the ability to put up points.
Agree.
So for that reason, and that reason only, I am comfortable enough with the total at 49.5, staying away from the spread here completely. But I will dabble on that spread.
Okay. Yeah. It's a good play. 49. Is that the highest spread? Is that the highest total of the week?
It is absolutely it's the highest total actually by 2 whole points.
Yeah.
On the sheet.
I figured. Here. Yeah. Look, I think, the Redskins caught fire last week. They played a Detroit team that was off their back foot. I feel like, Detroit obviously looking ahead. I think the market is moving a bit too far towards Washington here based off the Lions result. The Dolphins are a fucking freight train, man. Their offense obviously is what they are. They can put up points in an instant, but their defense is really starting to play better. They really, really had a good week last week. So I'm going to roll with the points here. 9.5 is a bit much, but I think they get it done by 10. This is like a 38-21 game to me. So yeah, that goes over for you, and that's covered for my spread. So I'm going to go Dolphins minus 9.5.
I like it. Moving on, first 4 p.m. game, we have the Carolina Panthers hopefully losing to the Tampa Bay Bucks for the sake of our
No, we need them to win.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we need them to win.
I'm talking crazy.
Yeah.
So hopefully beating Tampa Bay. Carolina plus 5.5, plus 198 in the money line, 36.5 is the total, Mikey. It's a tale of two teams here. Carolina not only bad record-wise, but bad against the spread. 1-8-2, the worst in the NFL currently against the spread. Tampa Bay, though, one of the best, 7-4 coming into this game. Last week, Tampa Bay loses to Indy. Very tough game. I actually had them as a dog last week on top of Buffalo. They actually, I think, in my opinion, would have won that game. They lost 27-20. Baker left in the second quarter, I believe.
He did.
Kyle Trask is not him. He is actually the complete opposite. He is a completely unserviceable backup quarterback and should be fired and should be also an all-state.
He wasn't even good at Florida.
Yeah, he was not. I don't even know how he went so high.
Do it going aside here. How do these bad college football quarterbacks get into the NFL?
Yeah, stop glorifying good.
Like, okay, I'm in the
bad
SEC.
quarterbacks.
I'm in the NFL. No. Can we just look at some other people? Like, anyway, continue.
No, so I mean, basically, he's going to be a all-state agent soon, along with Mac Jones, selling insurance on the side.
Mac Jones is going to go into hiding.
I mean, he should after really the entire last season. But with that being said, Tampa Bay here is an absolute slam dunk for me, minus 5.5. I just don't know how you could go any other way. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to pick a side, I'd pick the Bucks definitely. I don't know. I have a weird feeling about this game. I feel like there's going to be some fuckery. This is going to be. I think it's like a low scoring game for some reason, even though both these defenses stink and the Buccaneers have a good offense, but no Baker. Yeah, I'm going to go under. Fuck it. Under 36.5. Low total.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Carolina's defense is not good, Mikey Rob.
No, I know.
Newsflash.
Yeah, but their secondary is good. Their front seven is the worst in the league, but their secondary is pretty good. They give up the second least amount of fantasy points to wide receivers this year.
Wow. So you're saying that Rashad White might have a game?
I am saying that.
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
all right, good to know.
And I think they keep it on the ground and just cram it down their cram hole, but that tends to lead.
Cram it down their cram hole.
Yeah, so I'm going to go under 36.5. Blech, game. I need the Panthers to win, but whatever.
All right. Well, then we're going to move on to possibly the best game on the slate. San Francisco 49ers, just an absolute wagon of a team taking on another wagon, respectfully, in the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles are currently plus 2.5. Home dogs, Mikey Rom, plus 126 in the money line. 47.5 is the total. As we were walking in, coming through the parking lot today, I had said to you, I'm flopping. I don't know which way to go. There's some of these games I'm changing. I don't know where I'm at. The latter half of me said, Wagyu, you got to pick the Eagles after last week. You got to pick them. That was the ultimate letdown spot, the opportunity for them to take another L, and they didn't. They came back, went into overtime, and really just showed you how they just find ways to win, right? No, well, you know what? Here come the San Francisco 49ers. Also, they have Dallas next week. I said at one of these points on the last podcast, they're going to run into one of these teams and they're going to lose. They're going to drop one, 100%. Yeah. This is the week they drop one. This is the week that they go from Dallas to the Bills to 49ers back to Dallas, and they're going to lose. I'm sorry, you can't go through that gauntlet and come through and win every single game. If they do, though, they immediately my Super Bowl favorite.
I agree. If they somehow win these next two games, they're the clear Super Bowl favorite. But yeah, I'm with you. I this is going to sound crazy, but I feel like the 49ers might blow the Eagles out this week. This is the revenge spot for the 49ers for the NFC Championship game last year. No quarterback, they couldn't even run an offense. They were on they had a running back and a quarterback, I think the 49ers are going to use this to really, prove a point and say, hey, look, you guys won last year. You guys got lucky and we're the better team. We're going to stomp you. The Eagles have pulled some of these games out the last 3 weeks when they really should have lost. You can go to the Bills game, give Gabe Davis terms the right fucking way. That game's an L. The Eagles are a very good team, but they are, I think, a tad overrated. And the 49ers, I think, are right where they should be. They're firing on all cylinders. They're healthy. They want the revenge. I think the 49ers stomp the Eagles this week, honestly. If I might go alternate line, like -9.5.
So did you basically see that A.J. Brown came out to Eagles fans and said, hey, I give you guys a thumbs up to like fucking just torture Deebo Samuel.
Okay, that's weird, but okay.
And I just think that like it's just more motivation. You're rattling the cage of a beast that shouldn't be rattled.
Agree.
My thing is in this game is clearly Philadelphia lets up a lot of air yards. Christian McCaffrey, they're going to have to respect the run. They're going to have to respect him just even catching balls out of the backfield. So it's going to allow a lot of their downfield threats like Kittle, Ayuk.
Ayuk's going to have a game.
Ayuk is going to ball.
Yeah,
he's going to ball this week. And Deebo Samuel to really light up that secondary. I just don't think people realize how loaded San Fran is. And they're going to realize this week it's insane. So, yeah, give me San Fran -2.5.
Yeah, glad we agree.
Moving on, Cleveland Browns taking on the Rams. Cleveland currently +3.5 on the road, +148 in the money line, 39.5 is the total, Mikey. And I'll tell you what, last week I really thought Cleveland was actually going to come in and be competitive against Denver, even with Dorian Thompson, Robinson Smith, whatever the fuck his name is. DTR playing. But he wasn't. They got kind of the doors blown off 29-12, even against a very good defense, managed to put up 29 points. I think that the Rams here are in a good spot. They're fighting for a playoff spot. I think that at home, even though 3.5 is kind of a weird number, I'm going to lean towards the Rams here.
Okay.
Simply because I really have my mind made up that Cleveland, without Deshaun Watson, even though he's not the best quarterback in the world, doesn't really have much of an offense anymore.
Yeah, they don't. They really don't. The defense is obviously elite, probably the best defense in the league. But a defense can only take you so far when you play a good offensive team. I don't think the Rams are a good enough offensive team to blow them out. Like you said, this line is a little weird. That hook on the 3.5 is I think it's a real hook. I think it's going to be a field goal game. I think the Browns stay in this one. DTR, for his faults, at some points he looks like he could be a superstar in this league. We know he's not going to be because he's not consistent, but I think they show some flashes this week against this Rams defense.
Did you see him get absolutely rocked last week? Like
he did get creamed.
Like it was like a Mack truck hitting a Civic last week.
You got jacked. Remember Jacked Up? That was the best segment. CTE ruined that.
CTE, yeah, and Antonio Brown. What the fuck?
What the hell, dude? That was like, you got jacked up. I missed that.
Now it's all Moss. You got Moss.
Yeah. No, it's not the same as jacked
bring
up.
up jacked up.
Anyway, that being said, Browns +3.5. I think it's a close game.
Moving on, we have Sunday Night Football, Mikey. It's KC. -6 on the road against Green Bay. Green Bay currently +205. Money line at home, 42.5 is a total. And like we had mentioned earlier in the podcast, Green Bay shattering a lot of people's hopes and dreams on Thanksgiving against the Lions. 2 weeks in a row now, Jordan Love has showed up and showed out.
He might be good.
Maybe silencing some of the doubters. I'm not so willing to crown him just yet. Give me KC -6. I think that Patrick Mahomes and that Chiefs offense, as much as they have a case of the drops, a lot of dropaholics there, I think that they figure it out. Valdez-Scantling hopefully still just isn't playing. Maybe he's just like out. I don't know. Don't let him play football anymore.
Yeah.
Canadian Football League only for Valdez-Scantling.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's got like a Canadian football name.
Yeah.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I feel like that's French. Like
it's gotta be
Marquez.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Yes.
Well, either way, I'm on KC here -6. Simple pick for me.
Yeah. All I can picture is Patrick Mahomes in his current voice yelling at his wide receivers in the meetings this week. Can you please catch the ball? Like, I just fucking, his voice still kills me. Every time he's
Kermit.
And when he walks, he's like sassy as fuck. You notice that? Like
he's Kermit the Frog.
Dude, it is so funny to watch him, but he's so good. It's just crazy. Anyway, this total makes no sense to me. 42.5 seems really fucking low. The Packers score points. The Chiefs score points. None of these. I mean, the Chiefs defense is pretty good, but the Packers defense is not very good. So I like the over here, 42.5. This one seems way low, which means it'll probably be like 17-7 game. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the over here, 42.5.
I think they're playing this total as it's it's a rivalry game, but it's not in the sense that like the original two, the Super Bowl one, right? KC versus Green Bay. It's going to be kind of a big game in that regard. You know, it's going to be a big like historical sort of bout. They're expecting obviously KC to have a pretty good defensive game because they do have a good defense.
They do.
Green Bay, they're probably expecting maybe the weather, if it's going to be freezing or whatever it may be, I don't know, to contribute to that. So 42.5, I feel like it's like a sneaky total.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a sucker. Over.
I like it. Fuck it. Moving on to the last game on the slate, we have Monday Night Football. Cincinnati currently plus 8.5, plus 315 on the money line, 38.5 is the total, taking on Jacksonville. Jacksonville just been an absolute beast against the spread this season. One of the best, if not the best. Currently 8-3 against the spread, Mikey.
Sheesh.
Minus 8.5 is a weird total. Weird spread. But not weird enough to keep me away from it, I don't think. What do you think?
Okay, I wrote down over here because I don't want to pick this game, but I think I'm going to pick the point. I'm going to take the points 8.5 just because it's a weird number. I'm going to go Bengals plus 8.5. We're going to see Browning if he's if he's good, or if at least he can be a serviceable backup in this league for years to come. This is his chance to kind of prove himself, maybe get signed by another team, maybe stay as Joe Burrow's backup when he comes back. I think this is a really important game for his life. So I think he attempts to keep this close. I think they're going to air it out this week. I love the Jamar Chase over receiving yards this week. The Jags defense has a good front seven, but their secondary is a little bit suspect. So I think they keep it relatively close here. The Jags are also that type of team that can just lose this game. You know, they have one of those fucking games where it just makes no sense and they lose. So I'm going to take the points, Bengals plus 8.5.
So I'm actually on the other side. I do like Jacksonville minus 8.5.
Okay.
If T. Higgins is not playing. So you've seen so far with or without Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase basically he gets double 24/7, right?
Yes.
The only way that he's really going to be a factor in this game, in my opinion, is if T. Higgins is on the field to be able to draw that attention away from him. Otherwise, he's going to be a non-factor. They don't have Joe Burrow in the backfield calling the plays underneath center to be able to kind of, I don't know, what's the word? Magic. I don't know if that's not the right word. Like, use the Joe Burrow magic to be able to find a way for them to win the game, right? Yeah. Browning is not that guy. He's never going to be that guy, in my opinion. I don't think they have the offensive power to put up points against Jacksonville because Jacksonville does put up a lot of points now.
They do.
They struggled a little bit in the beginning of the season to find their stride. They have found their stride. Give me Jacksonville minus 8.5. Final part of the podcast, Lock Dog Tease. Mikey, I actually have an absolutely just laundry list tease that I've been building
really?
as the podcast has been going on. I don't know if you see me. You're probably like, what is he doing on his phone over there? But
how many legs in this tease? Let's start with your tease. Let's start because now I need to know.
No, we're gonna. It's a cliffhanger. 11 pick teaser.
Oh my god.
Give the people what they want. I've actually had a lot of people drop into our DMs more recent in the last couple of weeks, basically saying hey, we want more parlays on the podcast. So with that being said, here it is, people. Your parlay of the week. First lock. Who do you got?
Yeah, Colts. I feel like they fucking crush this week. Titans are dead. Mike Vrabel's dead. Tannehill's dead, literally. Will Levis dead. Colts win.
Arizona plus 5.5. Lock. Lock it the fuck up. Honestly, I really want to sprinkle money line on this. I just might. We'll see.
Yep.
But 5.5 for me, I'm sold against a really bad Pittsburgh Steelers team. My bonus lock, Los Angeles Chargers, -6 against the Patriots.
That's probably safe. Yeah.
Probably a very safe pick.
Yeah, that's probably good. I'm going to go with the Lions here. I feel like that's a fucking lock that they bounce back this week.
I also like that. I do like Lions in this spot. Your dog.
Dog, I'm going to go Broncos. I feel like they could pull this one out.
Mikey, are the dogs barking or are they barking? Because you and me on the same dog this week. Give us the Denver Broncos.
That makes me nervous. I don't know if I like that.
Give us the fucking Denver Broncos and Mr. Unlimited to fucking bark their way to a fucking victory.
Yeah.
Teaser. Do you have a teaser?
I can make one. Okay, let's see. Let's go Dolphins -6.5. And I don't know. Seahawks +12.
I like it. 11 picks right now. and it's a total of plus 9,515.
Oh, so you just ripped a parlay, and that's not a teaser.
I mean, it's a teaser parlay. Yeah, $10 to win $961.
Okay.
So $100 would net you 9,000.
Yep. That's math.
615.
That's how math
Wait,
works.
the math is mathing?
Add zero.
The math is mathing.
That's math, bro.
All right, well, nevertheless, the teaser parlay for the week here is Seattle Seahawks plus 14.5, Dolphins money line, Chargers -6, Dolphins -2.5, Arizona Cardinals plus 10.5, Denver Broncos plus 3.5, Bucks -2.5, 49ers money line, Rams money line, Chiefs money line, Jaguars money line. Pay me in ones
Jeez.
every time, all the time. Make it rain.
Yeah.
That's the pod.
That's a parlay. I'll have one for next week. I'll have a nice one.
I like that. Maybe we'll combine forces, our brains together, and just swell up an absolute banger of a parlay together.
I feel like we try that and it never works. But let's try it on the pod.
Yeah, I mean, no better ride than the squad ride.
That's a fact. Yeah. If you're not riding a fucking long shot parlay with your boys, then what are you doing on Sunday?
If this cashes, I'm letting you know.
You're gonna let it ride, and I know you are.
I am going to fly off the fucking handles.
All right, let's see.
Well, that's the end of the pod, guys. NFL Week 13 in the books, not 14. This podcast, as always, presented to you by Sleeper. Use that promo code RF-DGEN podcast on the Sleeper app to get your 100% deposit match up to $100. And as always, this podcast brought to you by Sunday Swagger. Use Sunday Swagger promo code DGEN15 to get 15% off your entire bag at checkout. And last but not least, I wish we had a cold Cape Cod Craft
I'm
cocktail
fucking coughing up a lung.
to cheers to this beloved, beautiful parlay that was just built.
Yes.
But we don't. By the way, you can go to CapeCodCraftCocktails.com, go to the Finest tab, find a location near you, and as always, drink responsibly. Any last thoughts, comments, concerns, anything at all? Mikey, Rom, you want to squeeze in here before we wrap up?
No. Is your tree up?
My tree's up. I'm actually having an ugly sweater party this week, and which you will be attending.
I'll be there, yep.
You will be attending. Have you picked out your ugly sweater yet?
I might have. It's going to be a surprise.
Should I tell you what mine is? Because I can't contain my excitement.
I would like to know. Yeah, let's hear it.
So mine's a Mike Tyson one, and it says "Merry Christmas."
That's a good fuck.
Yeah, I know, and he does have the tattoo on his face and everything.
Oh, I have to come back. Oh, okay,
but
it's like that. All right, I'll come ready.
Last question: what are you drinking this weekend? What's the?
Well, besides Cape Cod Craft cocktails, I'm definitely gonna get fucking frisky with some Fireball. I love Fireball on Christmas. So
really,
hey man, I'm not driving. Let's fucking go.
Right, let's fucking go. Appreciate you guys all. We'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.
It's time. Your triple bogey, long shot parlay, full send degenerates had a place to call home. Look no further. It's the DGEN